today. And doctor, if there was or if there is anything that has been affecting the society today, it's relationships and marriages. These are the things that has been an issue right from our forefathers, and we're still experiencing it in a worst manner now. These are the things that, whether we like it or not, we can't avoid or stop talking about it. Whether we like it or not, in one way or the other, even if we decide not to get married, we have parents, we have siblings, we have relations that are married and experiencing these things. So today I would like us to talk about the reasons why people, or should I say married people, experience divorce nowadays. Nowadays, the rate of divorce is too high. It is so common that then we used to hear people talk about divorce from this state to another
Mm.
area, but nowadays people comfortably divorce themselves. If you feel like this person is trying to be disrespectful, I want the divorce. So, why do you think all of these things happen in the society today?
All right. Thanks very much. First, I'll give this example. When I was much younger, we
Hmm.
used to fix a lot of things.
Hmm.
So we fixed things from umbrellas. We used to have people fixing jerry cans.
Hmm.
We had people fixing slippers. We had people fixing everything. Pots, they fixed them. But as time went on, it became a bit inconveniencing for people to fix things. So, like now, you have a phone, the screen might go bad,
Yeah.
and then you try to take it to fix it. You might discover that putting that screen will be more expensive than getting a new phone.
Hmm.
So, we're in a generation where it's cheaper to throw things away. We
Hmm.
don't we don't fix them. Yeah, it's cheaper to throw things away. And unfortunately, we have taken it into relationships. People will prefer to throw it away than try to fix it. Now, we need to understand that as long as two people come together, they are going to have issues because you come from different backgrounds, you have different experiences. Some people are exposed more than others, so you are going to have conflict.
Hmm.
And then you will need to learn to manage it. But when people are not ready to manage situations and they'd rather throw it away, you are going to have divorce. So what happened was that in the past, our parents, it's not like they didn't have issues, but they were more willing to tolerate each other.
Hmm.
And in fact, let me put it to you that some of our mothers were not even happy in their marriages. They were not happy, but they just endured because that was a generation that endured things that they could not tolerate. So if you tell us then, sit down here, we are going to sit down. If I tell my children, sit down here, they are going to ask me why. Because yeah, this is I couldn't ask my father why, but my children will ask me why. So this is a generation where people want to know why and they don't want to be taken for granted.
So you said people endured. Are you trying to say that we are supposed to be that kind of people that endured, even if we are in a kind of relationship that is toxic?
When people say toxic,
Hmm.
toxic is a relative term. Okay. And when you say these days people say mental health,
Hmm.
when we have people at work, when they don't want to work, they just say it's affecting my mental health. Say what are you talking about? So everybody gets people feel for you when you say mental health because of the time we are in.
Hmm.
But when you say toxic, toxic can be defined in different ways. I may just say, okay, you are not doing this thing the right way, and you might now say it is toxic.
Hmm.
There's toxicity that everybody sees that drives you crazy. You understand? Everybody knows it's toxic, but some people make excuse with toxicity. They don't want to give it a try. So you're tired of the guy, and you don't want to put in effort into the relationship. You now say it's toxic. It's affecting me. You get. So what I'm just saying in essence is that I think these days people are more impatient than they were back then.
So, what would you like to say concerning most of the things I usually see on social media? A lot of times they say women are already getting independent to some extent. That is one of the reason why divorce rate is high these days, and they tend to feel like they are more like equal with the men, and they don't feel the need to submit. So, do you think it is something that has to do with gender based, or it's a general issue?
It's not gender based. So men have issues, women have issues, right? And the times are changing. You said something about women. Yeah, women should be more aware. I wouldn't expect a woman in 2025 to be like a woman in 1964.
Mm.
That's not progress. A woman should be. Why did you go to school? You should be able to think for yourself. You should be able to choose. You should be able to have choices, right? So you shouldn't be like a woman in the old days. Okay, but what I'm just saying is that having known all that, it should help us to make more intelligent choices. You see, when you talk about divorce, it begins from your choice before you got married.
Mm.
People don't even choose for the right reasons. And so that's where they have problems at the end of the day.
Mm.
Okay, Doctor, you talked about endurance, right?
Yes.
So, for how long can someone endure in a toxic relationship?
Now, it's relative. In the first place, most times, not all the time,
Okay.
some people already know that the relationship is toxic, and then they go on to get married
Yeah.
for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
Either you feel that you've been together for so long and you don't know how you're going to start all over again. Radio Gazelle said something about people who are very confident about themselves right here. Some women, unfortunately, are not even confident in themselves. They feel like this guy, and the guy even makes them feel like she can't live without him. So they are scared of moving out. So when you feel this thing is not comfortable and I can't go on with this and I can't live my life with this person, you take the choice. You make that move and you call off the relationship. I'm not talking about marriage now. So I'm saying before
Okay,
you
based
get
on
married,
relationship
based on relationship.
status, yeah.
So I assume that if you make the right choices before marriage, you will not need to be having this conversation, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
there are tendencies, sorry,
Okay.
there are tendencies whereby people do not exhibit their real character
Yeah.
until when they are married to that particular person. That's when you begin to realize that, okay, this one is domestically violent. You begin to realize that this person is actually not tolerant. This kind of person is someone that always thinks of himself, very selfish. So, if someone finds himself in situations like this, to what extent, or should I say, what is the limit that a person should take when or should I say what how long should someone tolerate things like this?
Okay, so first, if some things are a no-no, for
Mm.
instance, domestic violence, there's no reason why you should stay for someone to keep beating you,
Mm.
right? And I'll give you this instance. Was a lady was always being beaten, and they'll beat her, she will want to leave the house, the man will come, those beaters, and they always come and beg and buy you
That
gifts and all
emotional.
that, yes. And then some of the women, they begin to even enjoy the gifts. So they look forward to, when he beats her, he's going to give her a lot of things. There are people who actually say that and they enjoy those things, unfortunately. But she now, the last time it was so bad, she said she wanted to leave. So some people now pleaded with her and spoke with her. I think her pastor's wife and some other person, they now told her, no, you don't leave your marriage, fight for your marriage and all that. So she went back. Now the last one the guy did, he beat her and he killed her.
Mm-mm.
So
Now
sad.
those people felt very bad. You get, so I'm saying that yes, people want the optics, right? They want the best for you and they'll say no, stay, manage, but they don't know what you're going through. So you are the one that knows how bad it is. You're the one that really feels it. So why wait for somebody? There are men that are so heartless that they beat their wives even with pregnancy. I've heard of some of them throw them down the stairs. So why will you do that to somebody's daughter, a fellow human being? Why will you, if someone did that to your daughter, will you like it? And so in that kind of situation, we will not. The first thing they say, leave, leave, to leave, live.
Mm.
We're not saying divorce yet, but leave that home, save your life, run away. Don't wait for him to finish you, because there are two ways. It's either he will finish you or you will finish him in self-defense.
Yeah.
because you don't know how far you will go when you're trying to protect yourself. Somebody may end up, gone in that relationship. So if you're in that kind of situation, no. Then also, infidelity is another thing. It's a big issue because it puts the other person at risk. I read a post, somebody was saying that if my partner is going around cheating, then I put it to him that my partner is threatening my life. Because what it means is that you are going to go out there, get disease, they want to bring it and come and infect me. So there are people who have been infected, innocent, they didn't do anything. It was the cheating partner that did it. So now in those cases, I cannot tell you to endure. It does not even make sense
Not at
to say
all.
endure, because you're going to harm yourself eventually. It's either somebody is going to get hurt, somebody is going to die, or something. So you understand what I mean? Yeah. But for normal cases where it is disagreement over color of walls or disagreement over which schools the children go to, those ones can be talked about. Yeah. And then you know that while you are thinking the person has changed, you said something about get my people change. Remember that even you yourself too, you have changed. So it depends on where you are looking at it from. The person may also be reacting to you who has also changed. But most time we don't know that we have changed. We only see the changes in other people. You understand my point?
Yeah, I get
So the person is probably as frustrated as you.
you.
Okay. So, doctor, you said we're in a relationship. So, if I see a red flag or a signs that I don't like this thing, like I said, like you said, domestic violence, should I talk to you about it or should I just move out? Or maybe how you react when you're hungry, when you're angry is different from how I react and I don't like it. Do you expect me to talk it out with you? Because you talk about enduring. We should that this generation we don't endure. You said it. So I
Yes.
should not endure with you. And should I leave or endure?
Why should a man even hit a woman? Or why should a woman even some women are violent. It's not one sided
Yeah.
though. Some
Yeah.
women are the violent ones, so they're the ones that provoke
They provoke.
when they start a woman starts holding say, you must finish me today, you must useless man, you don't have power, you cannot do it. Is this how your mates
Always a
I
small
think I
player.
saw a post. It said the law says do not beat her while you are saying you must kill me.
yeah, so imagine that. So it's both ways, and anybody can be violent, but it's something you cannot take. You see,
Mm.
why do you want to threaten your mental health? It says on your mental. Why do you want to enter toxicity by yourself? You have seen it, and these people hardly change.
So what if you're hopefully praying that the person is going to change? Maybe it's because the person is angry at this moment.
Okay, so what if it doesn't change?
I
Do
never can
people
say.
really change
So that's the
from their
question.
bad characters?
That's the question. So now, look, it's a bit technical. Yes, some people have changed, but if somebody begins to beat you before you get married, it simply means the person does not respect you. First, for him to have that mind.
Yeah,
Okay, I was telling some people the other day, I said, okay, wait. So they'll tell you that they have anger issues in our family. That's how we get angry, all of us. I say, okay, when you see soldier, and so,
You
why don't you slap? Why don't you slap soldier?
yeah.
Shebi, you have anger in your
It's anger
family.
limit.
Why
Anger has
why
limit.
why have you not slapped soldier? You understand? Or why don't you see a moving car and you go and
And
stand in
just
front and say
slap
we
it.
have anger in our family?
And you just got
You
Just
don't do
not
that.
just
That means your anger can be controlled.
yes.
It is only that you have decided that you apply that anger to a particular cell. You apply that anger to that woman, that innocent girl that you say you are in love with.
okay. I would like us to talk about the adaptation of modern culture. Would you like to say, or would you say that people or we adopting to modern culture is part of the reason why we have high rates of divorce? Why I said, oh, I asked that question is because one thing I noticed is that when I was little watching American movies and all of those foreign movies, you tend to see that a person or an individual divorce like 3 to 4 times,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she goes back to marriage, divorce, goes back to marriage, and she's very much comfortable about that thing.
Yes, yes.
And funny enough, we are beginning to see this kind of things happening here. And also, I want you to blend it with social media influence, because most of the time people want a fairy tale kind of relationship inculcated in their marriages. They want somebody said, what's the name? What's this Indian movie? They want Indian movie acts that we are seeing on Indian movies where love is being
Or
exhibited,
Philippine movies.
Slow.
or Philippine
Or Korean,
movies or
actually.
Korean movies exhibited in real life. I'd like you to talk about that.
Okay. You know, first, love is not a fairy tale,
Mm,
right? Yes, I agree that there is some influence of Western culture.
mm,
Yes, and over time, these things begin to influence you and you don't even know.
mm,
Because for we as Africans, we are first a communal people and then we are family oriented. So before now, it was difficult to really see divorce cases. People would stay, women will endure. You understand? Because of also this thing we say about submission,
mm,
tradition, religion will
mm.
keep us there. Right. So, but influence from foreign media and all over the years, and of course, some people have been exposed to Western education, they've traveled out, they've read, so they begin to think more deeply. Women begin to think more critically, men also begin to think more critically. And so it begins to affect their choices. They begin to look at it. Why do I have to endure this? Why do I have to go through this? And then they look at other people from other parts of the world. This person has divorced 3 times or 4 times. My own is just 2 times. That I'm even better. You get, so gradually it begins to influence you. Then you talked about social media, of course, big one. We are in a world where we assume that because somebody has 200,000 followers,
Mm,
it means they are saying the right thing.
mm,
You get, so we, and these people are young people who have not even lived life. Some of them are 22-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds who probably have hundreds of thousands of followers. They will only teach what they know. And so I'd like to say, please be careful of what you listen to, be careful of what you watch, be careful of what you allow to influence your mind.
okay. Lastly, before we include the callers, to just maybe one or two callers that would like to ask questions. Um, Someone, or I think a couple of times, I tend to hear people say, love is not enough in marriages. It requires a whole lot of things. So, what would you like to say about that? And also tell us what are the things that are required in marriages apart from that love?
Yeah, love is not enough. I agree absolutely. Because maybe before you get married, love, you see the girl, anytime you see the girl, you just be feeling good. When you're angry, just look at the beautiful girl,
Mm.
the anger will disappear. When you just see the guy's six packs, and his beards,
That is my guy.
like this my guy, yeah. When you just say, you just say, oh my god.
Oh
When
my
you see,
God.
oh, it's fine young man, you just your head will just be in the cloud. In fact, you just forget yourself. You open your mouth like they'll now be tapping you.
Cute.
Radio Gazelle, Radio Gazelle.
And then you
Yeah.
will scream.
Most especially, he's even called my cute.
Cute.
You
See, he's
understand?
cute.
You get, so
Okay.
but when you get married, it's a different thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because now you're not trying to prove anything anymore. You are there for life. So maybe you were pretending before. We all put up a good front now. You do well. Now you are together. Stuck for life. See me. This is the way I am. Or I can't pretend. You see the person the way the person is. So at that point, that same love will not be enough. So you are going to need something bigger, which is commitment. So there are days you will not feel like loving your wife. There are days you will not feel like loving your husband. But commitment will keep you going, knowing that I have committed to this person. Yes, I love this person. It's not like the love has disappeared, but I may not feel the love now, but I'm committed to this relationship. So that is key.
Okay, I think it's about time we call the studio lines if we have callers that would like to ask questions, because it's almost time for us to wrap up the show. Dr. Mike is here for you if you would like to ask questions or you want to say something about what we've been discussing here in the studio. You can call us.
You can call us on 091 or you can reach us on 090
I think you should call the studio lines again.
Okay. You can reach us
Oh,
on
sorry.
Beeping already.
okay.
Hello. Okay,
Oh,
call the studio lines again.
The number for you to reach us is 091 3060 9097.
Our very first caller. Good evening. Hello. I hope the network is not going to interrupt because this is the
hopefully
time that if you'd
people
like to
want
ask
to ask
questions,
questions.
you ask. Yeah, go on.
090 7194 7777. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Yeah, I can hear you. What's your name and where are you calling us from? Okay. Okay, Jennifer, go ahead with your contribution.